Hey friends, Kevin here from KFmusicstudio, here with a quick video on the difference between a half step and a whole step in music theory. Now, if you've been around and trying to learn how to build major scales or minor scales, pentatonic scales, whatever, you may have heard that phrase half step and whole step, but you might be like, I don't understand the difference. And so I'm here to break it down super quick, super practical here. So a half step is the smallest interval, the smallest distance between two notes in Western music. So I always think about a half step as like if I played the first fret on a guitar and then I went to the second fret on the guitar, that's a half step. So every fret on a guitar is actually a half step. So it's super easy. You could also think of it like a piano. If you were to go the distance between the white key and the very closest black key or white key. So it's the smallest increment. So from the notes E to F, for example, would be a half step. It's the smallest increment that we have in Western music. Now, a whole step is actually just two half steps put together. So thinking that guitar analogy again, if you were to fret the first note on the guitar and then play the third fret, that would be a whole step. So sometimes we call half steps semitones. And so if you think about a whole step, it would be like two half steps or two semitones. So when you're building a major scale, the distance between each of the 7 notes is a combination of whole steps and half steps. So, for example, when you're building a major scale, a distance between the root of the scale and the second note is a whole step, or 2 semitones. From the second note to the third note is 2 semitones, or a whole step. The distance between the third and the fourth note, however, is a little different. That's actually a half step. And so, or 1 semitone. So if we're using C major as an example, the distance between C to D is a whole step. From D to E, another whole step. From E to F, however, is a half step. If we keep building that scale up from the 4th scale degree to the 5th, that's a whole step. From the 5th to the 6th, another whole step. From the 6th to the 7th, another whole step. But then from 7 to the octave, or sometimes we call that 8, or the root of the scale, that's a half step. So if you break down the major scale, the distance between each of the notes would be a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So you may have heard that before, but you can actually try this on a guitar or a piano. So if you take that pattern of a whole step, which is 2 semitones or 2 half steps put together, if you were to build out a major scale, it doesn't matter what note you start on. If you use that pattern of notes, you will always get a major scale. So I want you to try that. Whatever instrument you play, or if you're a producer, maybe you pull that up on your Pro Tools or whatever you use to create your music software, and just try that pattern. Because once you understand that basic pattern, now that really unlocks everything that we typically talk about in most musical contexts. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Give a like, share this, and I actually created a free guide. If you want to dive a little bit deeper, if you've been trying to learn music theory for years and it's just been a struggle, I created a free guide. It's my gift to you. You can actually go to KFmusicstudio.com and get this free guide. It's the 9 building blocks of music theory. Major scales and whole steps and half steps are all included in there, not to mention pentatonic scales, the Nashville numbering system, and so much more. So get the guide. If you think that this would be helpful for somebody, man, I'd be so grateful if you would share the link with somebody and just let them know that it's been helpful for you. So music theory, as I've said before, is a 500-piece puzzle. And so the goal is to try to learn one little piece and then connect it to another piece, etc., etc. And eventually, over years of working with music, you'll have a full understanding of music. So keep playing, keep learning. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, hit the bell, hit subscribe. It